Well, welcome to Frazzled with Rob. Today, my special guest is
Suzette Boland.
Suzette Boland. Suzette, could you tell this massive audience what you do here at Cypress?
I teach chemistry and ACT prep.
Why science? Why did you go into science?
Oh geez. Well, I actually, when I started going back to college for like the 10th time, I didn't know what I was doing, but I had known that I'd always liked doing, I always did well and enjoyed my biology classes. So I was like, well, I'll just get a biology major because it bridges to anything and I can go from there. And while I was in that program, I took a class that was like global environmental issues. And we had to do like 32 hours of community service work. And I did it in a high school over the summer, helping these students with their summer science projects. And I was like, oh, maybe this is what I want to do, because it was just so great hanging out with the kids and helping them discover new things.
Is it still great just hanging out with the kids?
Depends on the day and the kid.
Yeah.
So, not always.
So let me back up for a second. You said you're about 10th time going back to college.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
I never knew what I wanted to do. So when I graduated high school, I went to college for a semester, dropped out, worked a bunch of different jobs, wound up doing web design for about 6 years.
Wow.
And that was great, but I got tired of sitting in front of a computer. And so I was just I went back to school for business, didn't like that, dropped out again. My mom was like, you should be a nurse. So I went back to school for nursing, didn't like that, dropped out again. So yeah, it's just kind of been it was a winding path.
So that's actually typical for young people these days.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of trial and error to figure out what they really like.
Yeah.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job I ever had? Ooh. It's probably a tie between Arby's, just because your hair smelled like it, curly fries and roast beef all the
Curly
time.
fry hair.
Yeah, and that was high school when smelling good to other people was really important to me, so that was rough. Or I worked at a check cashing company for a while. And it wasn't bad being there, but it was really bad seeing the plight that all these people had, like the situations people were in. It was really depressing. That loan that's accruing, 200% interest as they're doing it. It's just like, yeah, it was really.
Is that what the interest was?
It was in the hundreds. It was high.
Wow, that's a good rate.
Yes.
How many biologists does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh no!
Ooh. I don't know.
The answer is 4. 1 to change it, and 3 to write the environmental impact statement. Yeah.
We got to have that statement peer reviewed.
What's the draw for a kid to kind of engage in science?
I think it depends on the kid. There's some kids that really like it. When I was teaching biology, that class was a little bit harder to make fun because you've got to teach within the standards. And so you're limited on what kind of labs you can do and things like that. When I taught forensics, you could get those kids sucked right into that. I mean, you just tell them some murder story and they're like, murder.
Yeah, that was, by the way, that was a ripoff. You started a forensic science class here at Cypress, and it became probably our most popular science class. A lot of students were taking it. Mm-hmm. You almost had a full load, and then the state said, we're not going to offer it anymore.
Yeah.
And so we had to pull the plug on that. So let that be a lesson. If you like what you're teaching, we're going to eliminate it.
Just going to take it away from
if you.
Especially if you put a lot of work into it.
If you put the more work you put into
all
it,
the work into
we're
it,
going to cut it.
Gone.
But if you hate
Rip it away from you.
But if you hate what you're teaching, we're going to give you more.
Yeah.
The master schedule is coming up, and that's the lesson for everybody.
Freshman success across the board.
That's all everyone's going to teach.
It's everything.
Freshman success, all grades.
All day.
Even
all
seniors are taking freshman success.
Yes.
What's up? The champ's in the house looking for someone worthy of competing and trying to take this belt because it fits real snug right here.
Today's competition is Game Pigeon Cup Pong.
Going into 2023, I will be the champion.
Is Ivan Euchre really a teddy bear?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. He's a sensitive guy.
So you also are highly involved with the GEA.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What's your role with that?
I'm a building rep, which means I'm just here to help be a communication piece between members and GEA, and then also to advocate for GEA members when they need. So, if they get in trouble or having parent complaints or things like that, then
So you're an
advocate for them.
advocate.
Yeah.
You're really here to make sure that the process is fair.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
All stakeholders, whether it's their peers, administrators,
Yeah.
the district, or whatever, that we're doing what we're supposed to do in the right ways to make sure that you have the best opportunity to be able to do your job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes people think that's adversarial, that you and I are on opposite sides of the table, so we must not like each other because we're kind of on different sides.
Yeah.
I don't know. My experience has been that we're actually not on different sides, but how we support teachers sometimes just has different angles. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that some people see union and admin as adversarial, but is that a word?
Adversarial? I think it is.
I just made up a word. Oh, okay.
No, I think it is a word.
But I think that a lot of that comes from, especially if people have been in different districts or even in different schools, that there are places that there's not a lot of cooperation between union and admin, and so it's really great here at Cypress that we work together.
So tell me about some of your hobbies, family. Something about you.
I've got too many hobbies. It's a problem of mine. I like to take have all the hobbies that I have no time to do.
Yeah.
I've been crocheting a lot recently. Last summer it was all about painting. I was painting last summer. Yeah, so lots of painting last summer. So I just dabble in all of them. I did aerial silks for years.
What is that?
It's like circus fitness. So there's like fabric hanging from the ceiling, and you climb it and wrap up in it.
So, is this at your house? You have fabric hanging off the ceiling, and you're climbing. If you go to Suzette's house, she's going to be climbing fabric in her house.
Yeah. No, that's often how people perceive it. Like the first time I told my mom, she's like, "You're climbing curtains?" I'm like, "No, I'm not climbing curtains." I did have a rig in my backyard for a while. So it was like a giant swing set with the fabric hanging off of it.
Well, this has been Frazzled with Rob and Suzette. Have a great, I was going to say holidays, but this is probably going to film right when people get back from the holidays. It's probably going to show. So hope you had a great holiday.